bum, 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 bum. Yo! Hello? Eric Reynolds! Yo! Bro.
What the fuck, dude? What the fuck?
Dude, are you sleeping in my fucking closet? What the fuck you doing?
Oh fuck. No. I'm just chilling.
Dude, it looks like you're fucking living in here. How long have you been in this closet?
Since season 2 ended.
Dog, season 2 was 3 fucking months ago. You've been down here for 3 fucking months? How does one even stay alive in this closet down here for 3 fucking months?
Well, I mean, you pop a lot of popcorn, and you keep the fridge stocked with beer, and you leave food on the counter a lot. To be honest with you.
That Chipotle is 2 weeks old.
Yeah, I mean, I was just trying to clean up for you, if you know what I mean.
What is that smell?
What smell?
What is that damn bucket?
That's not. Okay.
That is not.
No. Because hear me out. I was going to the bathroom like a regular person, and you sit there at your desk for 5, 6, 7, 8 hours at a time.
Dude, are you fucking dookieing in my bucket? Are you shitting in here?
Okay.
Are you for real?
Max, chill out, okay? Just chill out. Everything is fine. I'm going to clean up. Dude, it's not a big deal.
You're shitting in a bucket.
It's not
in my closet.
It's not a big
You've been
fucking
here for
deal.
3 months.
It's not a big fucking deal. I'm camping out for season 3. I'm the first person in line at Best Buy for the fucking iPhone.
Okay. You got a fair point. You are here on time. It's the first time since like the first episode of season 1. So I'm going to give that to you. You are here, but you smell like shit and you're sleeping on the floor. So this is kind of fucking insane. But we cannot worry about a shit bucket and the fact that you have drank probably hundreds of dollars of my beer. We need to shoot this season 3. Our guest is actually already here in the building and everyone is outside waiting and set up. Will, Cole, Ron, Wiz Breezy, they're all freaking sitting outside waiting on us.
Oh, shit. Okay.
You know who our guest is?
Please
tell me you know who the fucking guest is.
Trace Atkins.
No.
Doja Cat?
No, that is not correct, Eric.
Garth.
Nope, that's not it either. You were close. You're close. That's not it. Our guest tonight is a Roanoke head figure right now. He got tons of buzz. Colby T Helms, you heard of him? You don't know who Colby T Helms is. You don't know who our guest is that's already sitting in here. He's on the couch over there waiting on us.
Is he from Franklin County?
He is from Franklin County, actually.
Yeah, I've never met anybody from Franklin County.
I think he makes like electric pop music or something like that.
Well, if I can dance to it, I can get to it. Can you give me 30 seconds?
Yeah, I think I can give you 30 seconds. But you're going to need, 30 days to get your life together after this mess here. We're going to go out there and act like none of this shit happened. So, yeah, you need to put your shoes on.
Come here, bro.
No, you're not going to fucking hug me. You're not going to kiss me.
I'm going to give you, let me.
No, I got black coffee. This is all I need, buddy. Okay? You go ahead. Get yourself ready to go. Get cleaned up. Try to smell not as bad as you do right now. And I'm going to see you out there in 30 seconds. Colby T Helms. Don't forget his name.
Colby T Helms.
Yup.
Got it. Colby T Helms.
All right.
Colby T Helms. Colby T Helms. Nobody better. Let's do this thing. Come on.
Welcome back, Biscuits and Gravy faithful. Season 3's here, baby. You'll notice I'm up here alone without the best host in the Roanoke Valley in the music scene. Let's bring him on out. It's Eric Otter Reynolds.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Actually,
yeah, buddy.
I hope no children are watching this without parental supervision. But like he said, my name is Eric Reynolds, and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you once again back down to our home, Klean Studios, for another episode of the Biscuits and Gravy podcast. Episode 33, Season 3.
Amazing.
3's your lucky number. It's your lucky day. But it's your lucky day anyway if you like good music, because I've got a wonderful guest behind me. We've got Colby T Helms. He brought along his banjo player. This is Stewart Werner. And they're going to make some wonderful music for us tonight. Now, it's a little different than what you've usually seen on Biscuits and Gravy, but bluegrass music and the kind of music that they make is as important to this area as the very Blue Hills themselves. So sit down, pour yourself a drink, light a cigar, light whatever you're smoking. I don't judge. And enjoy. This is the Dove Song.
Yeah, buddy.
We are back, and honestly, I want to give a quick shout out because people that are viewing the episode will have just seen our brand new intro. So huge shout out to the team on that one. It looks incredible. But we are back for the Biscuits and Gravy podcast, like I said earlier.
Sir.
Thank you. Our studio crowd is so kind. My name is Eric Reynolds. To my right in this handsome Southwestern attire is Brighton Douglas.
Absolutely. I'm ready to get it rolling.
The handsomest co-host.
Season 3.
In all of music podcasting.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I'm great. We've been hanging out with these guys right here who you'll talk about in just a brief moment. I'm starting to catch a little buzz. These Southwest Virginia boys, they do it a little different.
That's absolutely true.
Golly.
Absolutely true. And on the other couch, we have Colby T Helms and Stuart Werner joining us this afternoon. Make some noise for them. Make some noise here in the studio.
Welcome.
Because we just heard an excellent performance from you two. We got some more music coming. But welcome down to Klean Studios for our first episode of season 3. We're happy to have you guys down here.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all having us on the first episode. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I didn't know this was the first episode of the season, so I'm a little flattered.
Kicking off the season.
This is the season premiere. We took a little bit of a summer hiatus.
All right.
We got in the lab. We made ourselves a little bit better, and we're back here for season 3. And boy, are we happy to have you guys out here because that was an incredible performance you started us off with.
Thanks so much. You know what they say, third time's the charm, right?
That's it. We heard it a couple times in sound check, and then it was incredibly tight live. Like just
the Dove song.
The Dove song.
It sounded just like the record when we were listening to the song when we were on the way over.
Yeah. And speaking of the record, we've been spinning the record,
of course, for
a couple weeks now. How has that been since you dropped that? You dropped that kind of first of the year?
Yeah, so it's kind of a long process that we went through on this record, y'all. So I actually wrote all these songs when I was in high school, right? I graduated in 2020 from Franklin County High School. And in high school, we played Bluegrass together, me and Stewart. And, we used to go out and play gigs and stuff. But I kind of wrote all these songs that are on the record kind of as this, diary. Like I never had a diary, but I wanted to write songs for myself, really, not for anybody else. And slowly I started incorporating them into my live performances, and people were digging them and relating to them and stuff. And so, it was always my secret dream that I wanted to release an album of my original music. Did I think I was going to be in a 3-album record deal right now? No, but I just wanted to get that album out. Yeah. And so I actually tried 2 different times before this time trying to record it, and something happened each time to where it just didn't go right, and I had to start the project over from the beginning.
Oh wow.
And so in 2022, right, it was had just tried to record the album for the second time. It was a flop. It didn't turn out how I wanted it. Didn't sound like me. And I didn't have a TikTok at the time, didn't have much social media presence, and my buddy actually was having a party up in Rockbridge County, north of here. And I went out there and I actually played in this barn, and somebody took a video of me and put me on TikTok, and it blew up pretty good. I mean, it didn't go viral, but it blew up pretty good. And actually, the record company that I'm working for now, one of the associates that works there, he saw me on TikTok. He tried to look up my music, and then when he tried to look me up, he couldn't find anything. And he was like, well, who is this kid, and why doesn't it have any music out there? Because a lot of people, they start and they put a bunch of music on social media, and you start to gain that following before you ever do anything with professional music. Yeah. That's kind of the way it works now. But in the old days, everybody played live and went through the gutter before they ever got anywhere.
Right.
And being from Franklin County, being stubborn, like I said, I didn't run my social media very well, but I played a lot of shows, a lot of small shows trying to get out there. And so I actually got a call, or got texts and calls from Photo Finish Records in New York City saying that they wanted to, were interested in talking to me about a record deal. And I thought it was a scam, y'all. I mean,
it's crazy.
These guys start texting you from New York City. It sounds like a scam to me. And so I was like, didn't even text them back, didn't even look into it at all. And they kept on. And finally they found they started calling me. And then finally one day, this guy called me and said, hey, if we fly down to Roanoke, Virginia, and drive down to Franklin County and meet you, will you take us seriously? And he left that on my voicemail. And so I was like, all right, so yeah. I was like, yeah, I would. So it's funny as heck that these guys come down from New York City, and if y'all don't know, the universal color in New York City, from my observation, the universal color that everybody wears is dark colors like gray and black. Yeah. Like that's just the universal, you're not wearing a specific color, you're just wearing, dark colors like that. So 4 like tall New York City boys walk in all black, leather jackets, fucking black skinny jeans, black shoes, black freaking cowboy hats and everything else. And they're all walking in there, and my mom's like, just intimidated by all these guys, it's like, and they went down to my house, and they didn't even know. They're like, we were about to go to a shooting range. I'm like, dude, you're in Virginia. You don't need no shooting range.
Go to a range,
I said, we could shoot here.
We're in a holler.
So we shot some guns, shot off some fireworks, and they got to try some Franklin County finest and, really get the true Southern hospitality experience. And so they paid it back by flying us up to New York City to see their neck of the woods. And we went up there, and I ended up signing the record deal in March of 2023.
Wow.
And they were really pressed about me getting a record out. And like I said, I had these songs already ready. And we went in the end of April, beginning of May, and cut Tales of Misfortune like 2 or 3 days.
Wow.
And didn't have any of my live band, the Virginia Creepers, on except for Billy Hurd. He plays fiddle. And he produced the album because he's a music mentor of mine. But anyway, he produced the album and everything, and we got it done quickly. We got it put out at the beginning of this year, and man, we've been riding the roller coaster ever since. It all came together real quickly because, like I said, before I signed the record deal, I'll fill y'all in on this. So before I signed the record deal, I got in touch with an entertainment lawyer in Richmond, and he's a really awesome dude. And he knew the manager that now manages me, and he called him up, and he basically said, hey, this like hillbilly kid's about to sign a record deal in New York City, doesn't even have a manager or booking agent. He's like, something is wacky about this. Can you check it out? So Dolph Ramsher, he actually got in contact with me, and he was like, me and him started talking, and he said, look, man, you need somebody here to help you negotiate this. And so he stepped in and helped me, and then through him I got working with New Frontier Touring, which is out of Nashville, really awesome booking agent, and Paul Lord, John Everhart, and they booked for a bunch of awesome acts, and boom, all of a sudden I went from having no like budget to cut an album, went from having no booking agent, no manager, no record deal, to all of a sudden having a booking agent, manager, record deal, cut the album, got it out there in the world, and people have been digging it.
Yeah, wow.
So,
I've been digging the shit.
Yeah,
out of
it's
it.
amazing.
I appreciate that you told kind of the whole story, because a lot of people that listen to the podcast are kind of trying to put those pieces together. So it's cool to hear kind of like how everything starts to coalesce.
Yeah.
And you touched on a lot of stuff I want to go into a little deeper. But first, I wanted to ask you guys, because not a lot of people know, what is bluegrass? And also, I wanted to follow that up a little bit, because I know that you don't necessarily do bluegrass, and I know that you do Colby music. So I wanted to ask you what Colby music is too.
Okay, so there's
very tough.
This is a tough question because people debate about it.
Yeah.
So like, how there's cultures and then there's subcultures, and then sometimes there's freaking subcultures of subcultures.
Yeah.
Bluegrass is one of those subcultures that has subcultures within inside of it.
Yeah.
It's too small of a genre for people to fight. But, bluegrass, basically I'll tell you a quick, brief history of bluegrass. So a lot of people that don't know anything about country music or whatever, just any kind of roots music in general, they associate bluegrass with, that's what they were playing back in the 1800s, hillbillies sitting on the porch picking the banjo playing bluegrass.
Yeah.
What they don't understand is bluegrass was a modern music, came out right before rock and roll. So rock and roll started in the 50s. Bluegrass was created in the 1940s. Now, there were people from the country that played country music, which is what they would call it at the time. Yeah. But bluegrass is a specific sound, right? So you can take an old country song that's slow and you speed it up and you add a certain rhythm to it. That is what makes it bluegrass. It's the rhythm itself. It's that type of rhythm, that driving sound. And that's why the banjo, which is what Stewart specializes in, is such an important instrument in bluegrass because the banjo gives the song the drive.
Right.
It's got
provides a rhythmic element.
that rolling sound to it. So that's it, from just the basic roots level, what bluegrass is that's kind of the rhythm that makes it into that type of sound. Now, people have took that idea and went way a bunch of different ways with it. And so there's all these people out there that consider some things bluegrass, some things not bluegrass, and then everybody's confused and nobody even knows what the fuck it is.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's become this whole thing, this whole culture of like people playing what they call traditional bluegrass, which I think is a stupid term because it came out like, that's like people saying traditional rock and roll. There's no such thing as traditional rock and roll. There's classic rock, but there's no such thing as traditional rock and roll because it was a new thing when it came out in the 50s, you know, and it was, and a lot of people hated it. And a lot of people said it was the devil's music. Yeah. People said the bluegrass was that way, and it was a desecration of country music because you're taking it and you're driving it. It's like, you know, it's like somebody taking a love song and then doing a punk version of it. Bluegrass is the punk version of country music.
That's a great analogy. That's a really great analogy.
And that's a great
Colby
way.
And I
love that.
Colby and I actually come from what I would say is probably opposite ends of the bluegrass spectrum. You know, I came from a more modern interpretation of the music. You know, a lot of my friends play a lot of the more modern stuff from you know, like the 80s on up, and Colby specializes in a lot of the original stuff, like, you know, what, you know, it's basically the genuine article. It is bluegrass as it was when it was, you know, first made, and it's just really interesting because I think it provides a unique dynamic between our playing because I'm able to provide this modern element to it, and he provides that really traditional sound.
So,
too.
like, one thing about Colby music, like we're talking about, is so I try to, like, one thing I think is super cool, and not just music, literature, movies, American culture in general, and that's taking things that were like fads at one time or super popular at one time and that people have forgotten about and bringing it back and incorporating it into modern stuff so that it gives people kind of a hook to go back and explore and learn for themselves.
Absolutely.
We live in an age, dude, where you can look on your phone, scroll through TikTok, and you see facts about, facts about whatever you want, and everybody learns their, stuff from media like that. Yeah. It's like, dude, take some time to go back and research. If people back in the old days had the internet, hell, they'd be searching up all kinds of stuff, trying to learn more stuff. And I'm a big learner. I love learning anything new. Yeah. So, like, my goal as a musician is to bring back some of this old stuff and get people interested in it, get people that might not have even thought bluegrass was even accessible to them, or even thought that it was, a lot of people think it's goofy and it's like silly. It's like, whoa, this is like actually really serious and a lot of crazy, intricate things that go into it. People start learning about it and you bring more people into your circle. Yeah. And that's the whole thing. But like, you got to appeal to the modern people somehow. And like, I try to add a modern spin on my music as well as an old spin. Because a lot of people in the bluegrass world locally, they don't really give a damn about what I'm doing. They wouldn't consider my music bluegrass. So it's like, whatever. It's Colby T Helms music.
Colby music.
Right. I like that. I like that you own it.
Thanks, man.
It's definitely, it's got a youthful energy that I love.
Absolutely.
It's Tales of Misfortune. So it's misfortunate, but at the end of the day, like, it's got kind of a, it's excited. Like, it kind of lifts the genre up, and I love it. That's why I love when I saw that the guys call it Colby music. People
like
ask
a hopeful melancholy.
Yeah,
kinda.
That's a great way to put it. That's a great way to put the album. It was awesome. I mean, you like bluegrass to begin with.
Bluegrass
you've always
is great.
liked bluegrass.
Is
this is new for me.
Yeah, bluegrass.
I've been bumping this album since January. Yeah, I've been playing it.
Damn, man,
I like
That's
it.
Awesome.
I genuinely like it,
and I to show you.
I would not be giving the compliment had I not. I'm sometimes I could be picky with my music, man. Yeah, it's awesome, great record.
Well, I'll tell you something else that's kind of interesting about me. So the record label I work for was called Photo Finish. If you look them up, none of the other artists on the label are anything like me. They don't know bluegrass, no country. They don't know anything about roots music or anything like that, really. And it's been a learning curve for both of us. But what they saw is I'm trying to take a certain region, the Roanoke Valley region, Southwest Virginia, and I'm trying to like suck that into a syringe and inject that into the world.
Yes.
Because we have such a unique place here and so freaking cool and such a cool culture. And so I'm trying to get that out into the world, and people think of it as a fresh thing because, you know, we have this terrible stigma of like, you know, this part of the world being with a bunch of dumb people that don't know anything about anything. And, you know, somewhat it is true, but so, you know,
but you know, it's one of those things.
There are plenty of dumb people, but there's plenty of dumb people everywhere.
That's true everywhere, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's a universal thing. That's not specific to here.
And so let's take all the good stuff and uplift that and try to get that out there. And so that's what I've been trying to do. And this year's been awesome. Been able to go to England this year and travel across half the United States this year. So
wow. That's been, I just been seeing where you kind of pop up and where you're playing at. It's been blowing my mind. I saw that you played in England, which was incredible.
Yeah, we got to go over to Americana Fest UK. And so that's like what my music usually gets, you know, lumped into the Americana term because Americana, you know, that genre got created as this, dumpster for everything that couldn't get on country radio.
Exactly. Well, yeah.
That's actually true. And like in the 80s and 90s, you know, there was all these people that were like still trying to do like this folksy thing, and folksy was going out. You know, folk was big in the 60s and 70s. It was going out in the 80s, and like country music was starting to get into the mainstream. Music videos came out, you know, and MTV and all the different country shit, and everybody's trying to get like, you know, country became kind of it came way slicker and way poppier. Yeah. And so all these other people that they're like, what do we do with all these other musicians that we don't want on the radio? Oh, that's Americana music. So that's exactly what happened to everybody like that. But what people did is that, you know, it's like, it's one of those things, it's like back up and punt. It's like, so what are you going to do about it? It's like, well, we're going to make the Americana genre bigger. So in the last 30 years, I'd say the Americana, you know, genre as a whole has uplifted a lot of sub-genres of roots music.
Absolutely.
Like blues, acoustic blues, and like old forms of jazz and bluegrass, country music, old-time music. All this stuff got just funneled into Americana. And so now you're getting people from all over the world that just want to learn about it because they want to learn about American culture.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Americans have such a big influence on the world that I think that, you know, we got to take it, you know, take advantage of it and at least show them the good things.
Take it seriously.
You know, America's got a lot of flaws, but music is good.
Yeah. That's why I think music, I mean, it brings people together, and especially
America's flaws might be part of why the music is so good.
Exactly.
I think you're 100%
bad times
right.
make good musicians.
I think you're
Exactly.
100% right, bro.
But
absolutely. Reality.
I can imagine that like bluegrass resonates over in like, you know, England and Europe because like those are the people that came to America and kind of brought that music with them.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where it comes from. So it's cool to see like those kind of roots intermingle.
Yeah, man.
But I wanted to ask you because like I feel like the kind of bluegrass sound is like coming into country a whole lot more and it's becoming a whole lot more prevalent on the radio.
Yeah.
You hear a lot more mandolins, a lot more banjos.
That's right.
Than you did, you know, 5 years ago.
That's true.
And I think like it's part of this whole like wave of like country energy hitting America, you know, and I think that's why people come out and they want to see, you know, they want to see acts like you guys. And the thing that stuck with me is on the cover for Powell River Sessions, the live sessions, which are incredible, by the way.
Oh, thanks, man.
The guitar says "This machine kills pop country."
Oh yeah.
Which is like
let's get into that. Go ahead.
From the Woody Guthrie, like "This machine kills fascists," which I thought was incredible because I think that pop country was terrible for the genre is a big reason that I, for a long time, thought country music was like lame. Yeah. And then I got into the, you know, the roots and the, you know, where the real music comes from. And it excites me, you know, because it's such a great energy. Man. And I just wanted to talk to you kind of about like pop country and what you guys think about it.
The thing about country is that I know so many people, you know, I hang out in a lot of nerdy communities. I love nerdy stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of those people are really averse to country. Mm-hmm. Well, at least what they have seen of country, because everything that they have heard and listened to has been a lot of the modern stuff that is exactly what you're talking about. It's very, you know, it kind of alienates the viewers. It's very trashy and kind of ridiculous and bombastic and not realistic. Yeah. And I know a lot of people in those communities would appreciate the music that I consider to be, you know, genuine country from beforehand if they hadn't already experienced this new thing that they perceived to be country.
Yeah.
We've all had something that left a bad taste in our mouth. Yes. And I think that so many people have had so much crap shoved down their ears the last 20 years on the radio that people have the access now. We got streaming. We got all these things that make it possible for people to be able to listen to the musicians that they want to. And now it's y'all are about to see a revolution of something happening. It's people being able to find the musicians that they want and they're listening to them because they genuinely like them, not because it's what their buddies are listening to. Yeah. Because now you have the access to go get it and go find it. Whereas before, like 10, 15 years ago, you just listened to whatever was on, pop radio. Right. You listen to whatever's on rap radio, whatever's on country radio. And those people that they played the most must be the coolest guys, obviously. Yeah. And people were starting to change. They're like, wait a second. I always knew this sounded like shit. And now everybody else is starting to figure it out. So, that's
an awakening
super cool.
Happening.
That's awesome. It makes it optimistic for guys like me.
Yes.
Yes. There you go, Ron.
Our live studio audience agrees.
They seem to agree.
No, I kind of wanted to ask you because I think that it's cool that like the whole streaming thing and the accessibility to music is easier than it's ever been. But I know that you're like a big fan of physical media too, like records and stuff like that.
Yes.
And I know you did a vinyl release
yes, sir.
with Tales of Misfortune. So I wonder if you talk about kind of physical media and what that means, keeping that going.
So, like, one thing that's so precious about American music, like I was just kind of going on before, American music is unique to any other, it's unique and different than any other part of the world because we have so many different cultures that have came to America and blended together. And because of that, we have all these different amazing genres that popped up that are just wouldn't pop up in any other place. And the thing about it is music is art. It's an art form. And people will take the time to buy a painting and, pay thousands of dollars for it. But yet when it comes to music, something's good for about a month and then they just throw it away and then they don't care about it anymore. And then if you play it years later, somebody's like, oh, that's a throwback. But then it's just gone again after that. Nobody really cares. But when you could buy music and hold it in your hands and, you read the liner notes, you learn about the artist, you get a connection to them. Yeah. And so it makes it more presentable as an art form.
Absolutely.
And, like people used to take the time to do everything to make sure that their record, the physical record, represented what was on the record. Yeah. And so like you get the visual aspect with it way before music videos and stuff came out. So like, you could buy the record and buy the art. You're already getting excited by I wonder what this is going to sound like because it's going to somewhat have to do with the art. And, you already get that visual thing, then it makes you want to pick up that record. Yeah. People want something they can take home and have as a piece of memorabilia.
Absolutely.
And when people come out to my shows, they always apologize to me when I'm signing records. They're like, I'm so sorry. You probably get tired of doing this. Say, no, I love doing it. Yeah. I want to sign every fucking record that I've printed out and give it to everybody because I know what it's like to be a little kid and meet your hero and they sign it for you. And that's the best feeling in the world, man.
Every time you
and
get
so
that record out.
I'm all about that. And also when people have records, they learn to take care of stuff. Back when the CD days, you got all these freaking CDs and they're cheap as can be. You scratch one up, you just throw it out the freaking window and go get another one for $5. Records, you got to do a little bit more care. You got to take care of them. Yep. And it makes people appreciate stuff a little bit more, which I think is definitely lacking in today's age.
Absolutely. No, and honestly, speaking of physical media, this is my Nardwuar moment. This is my Nardwuar moment.
Oh, man.
So I know that you like George Jones.
Oh, yeah.
Because you got George Jones hat. So got a little physical media for you right here.
Whoa.
We got George Jones.
Oh, walls can fall.
And I got Hank Williams, Born to Boogie.
Oh, that's sweet.
You guys.
Oh, thanks.
Look at this guy.
And then also did a little Nardwuar digging and found out that your favorite candy bar is the same as mine, which is a Payday.
Yes,
Love
sir.
Payday bars.
The research.
So I got a Payday bar for you too.
Oh, thanks,
Ron, hit
man.
the horn.
Celebrate season 3.
Thank you so much.
Nardwuar moment. So,
wow.
once I saw that you like Payday, because I love Payday bars, so I had to get you a Payday bar. But the George Jones,
this man eats them every morning at the gym.
Yeah.
No lie.
Dude, this is pretty sweet. I appreciate it, man. This is great. I mean, what is more freaking country than George Jones and a fucking Payday bar?
That's it.
That's
crazy.
It, man. That's
it doesn't get
crazy.
any better than that.
That's amazing.
I
Going,
love some
going in the
George
Raws.
What a damn moment.
And I love some payday bars.
We ought to learn this Buck Naked song right here, man. I'm interested to hear what that is.
Oh, if you haven't heard that side of Hank Jr., just wait.
That's it. But it's kind of like it's like a phenomenon that you kind of miss with digital music is like the B-side. I was telling him like a lot of times like you flip the record over and it's like tracks that you would never hear on the radio.
Yeah.
But just stuff that's cool and experimental and like pushing the edge.
True fans appreciate that.
Yeah, and it's like, the other side of the record or the other side of the tape is like now you kind of just put the album on shuffle, you listen to the whole thing, but like it, something about that, like that B-side, like
There's an
like
experience to the whole thing that there's more ephemera to it than just I'm listening to something. This is I'm dedicating my time to this music because I appreciate it.
Well, I'll add another element on. Back in the day when you had a record, a lot of people don't think about this aspect of it. Record only has so much recording time on it. Yeah. Can only fit so many grooves on it.
Right.
So you had to think about it when y'all went to the studio. All right, what songs am I going to put on here? How am I going to layer them to where this many is on this side and this many is on the back side, and they line up to where it fits? And so a lot of things were like, that's how albums were created. And it's like, you wonder why this song's a little longer. Oh, why did they put the extended solo on there? They're trying to fill some time. Why'd they cut this song off? Oh, well, they're trying to cut it short because they were running out of time. That kind of thing is such a cool thing to think about. And like I told, I tell everybody in interviews and stuff, how did you think about the album? How did you think about the list of songs? I'm like, one, it's a chronological story. It tells my story, the record does, and like growing up in Southwest Virginia and just like in a rural area and experiencing, it's kind of a coming of age story. And I, the way I think about it is you're listening to the whole piece, not just one song individually. And when you sit down to listen to that album, you're going to plan to listen to the whole album.
Yeah.
And that's a whole different take on it. Now, there may be tracks that are so good that you want to go back and listen to those specific tracks. But the fact that you listen to the whole album to begin with is going to make you appreciate those tracks even more.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah.
That's the way I think about it.
Yeah, honestly, and with a record too, it's a whole deal like taking it on and off the player too. So sometimes you get a record and you listen to that thing for 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't feel like putting that thing back in the sleeve.
Yeah, exactly.
Flip it over, let me hear the other side again. But I think it's cool that you guys got a record press. It's to me, it's physical media and keeping kind of like old things alive, well-made things is
man.
It's important,
It's part of the American way, and I think that that's something we should all hold on to is building something to last.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a good note to break on, young sir.
I think so.
What do we think? Break time. Break time.
We are back from the break with Franklin County's very own Colby T Helms and one of the Virginia Creepers, Stuart Werner, right here to play us another selection off of Tales of Misfortune, which is on vinyl, just like we talked about. This is actually the special blue edition. So if you're cool, you'll get one of these. If you're not, you won't. And at the end of the day, you'll just have to enjoy Higher Ground.
Once I was the running kind, I'd run these interstates. Now I'm running home if you're waiting there. Once I was the loving kind, I thought your heart would be all mine. I learned in good time that things can never be like dams and trees and honeybees. We are a dying breed. I'm gonna live way up in the holler. Can't stand the city no more. Working all my life trying to make a dollar. Wish things were how they were before. I'm gonna sweep you off your feet. Gonna take you to higher ground. alone. I wish I was hiding somewhat dry in my old country home. Nashville cats and Ariat hats, they leave a sour taste in my mouth. Like Daddy said, you gotta keep your head and know when to shut that mouth. Like dams and trees and lost southern melodies, we are a dying breed. I'm gonna live way up in the holler, can't stay in the city no more. Working all my life trying to make a dollar, wish things are how they were before. I'm gonna sweep you off your feet, gonna take you to higher ground. We can dance the night away, but we ain't gotta fool around. Like dams and trees and honeybees, we are a dying breed. I'm gonna live way up in the holler, can't stand the city no more. Working all my life trying to make a dollar, wish things are how they were before. I'm gonna sweep you off your feet, gonna take you to higher ground. We can dance the night away, but we ain't gotta fool around.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Higher Ground, Colby T Helms, Tales of Misfortune. I'm telling you, go spin this record, whether digitally or with the real thing. You need to hear it. This is one of my favorites off of it. But stay tuned. We got a little bit more chat. This is your favorite, the Biscuits and Gravy podcast. Yeah!
Evil Breezy.
Good evening, Biscuits and Gravy faithful. We interrupt this amazing podcast to talk about things that irritate the fucking shit out of me. You know what's irritating America and other lands? Netherlands. Let's talk about something that many folk won't talk about. Let's talk about something that a man had a dream about in Ohio years ago in the 1900s, to sell roast beef sandwiches at a great price. And what happens now in the social media age? You mock him. You mock his dream. That man had a dream and a cowboy hat, and he put it on a sign and called it Arby's, and you mock him. Well, now I'm here to take all that back, and you can take it all back, or else I blow up Klean Studios. Release you of your famous podcast dreams. Arby's has had more success than you could ever possibly imagine. It bought B-Dubs. Buffalo Wild Wings, heard of the restaurant? Bought 'em. Bought 'em. And you say they have no weight, no motion, as the kids might say. It's not Long John Silver's. Fuck you. It's Arby's. And guess what, motherfucker? Pause. They have the meats. What's good, Biscuits and Gravy fans? Want to take a quick minute out of this episode to talk about our good friends at King Screen.
Are you a business, event planner, band, or artist looking to get custom t-shirts or other apparel products with your logo on them? Well, King Screen, the 2024 Platinum Award winner for Best Custom Apparel by the Ronimus magazine, is the place to go to fulfill your needs.
Their inclusive pricing, fast turnaround time, free nationwide shipping, and no setup fees are what make them one of the best custom apparel companies on the East Coast. So for all your custom t-shirts or apparel needs, hit up King Screen at kingscreen.com. They'll hook you up.
Enjoy the rest of the episode.
Welcome back from the musical break. It's your favorite podcast. I know you stuck around for the music, but it's a night of firsts. It's our first episode of the 3rd season.
Mm.
It's our first episode with a bluegrass artist.
Okay.
And tonight is going to be our first episode with a brand spanking new segment.
Oh, shit.
With a fan favorite, with a personal favorite crew member. Yeah, I'm sorry, I pick favorites. His name, you already know it, is Ronimus Robinson.
Wow.
He's a big dog. You can hear him barking sometimes in the background. He picked up 315 pounds the other day. Fun fact.
He did.
I'll tell everybody that'll listen.
He did.
Stronger than he needs to be. So get on out here and let everybody know what you've been cooking.
A whole lot, Eric. Is that we don't have time for it. If we were to really sit down and talk about
That's
it.
true. That's true. It'd be a whole other podcast.
You know,
it's a process.
You know. So what we want to do right now, we're gonna hop into a little something we're gonna call gas or trash. Okay, we're just gonna dive into a couple of random topics and just decide if they're worth the hype or a total miss. You know, garbage. Shouldn't even be talking about them. You know. And listen, there's no right or wrong answer.
Whoa.
It's your answer. Okay.
That's it, Ron.
Right.
Opinion based.
Check me out.
I like it.
The right or wrong
Here we go.
answers, except for when they're.
Here's what we got first.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Pez
Pez.
dispensers and just Pez in general.
Gas.
Gas. That's gas.
That's gas for sure.
That is 100% gas.
Gas.
That's gas.
What's the coolest
But the
Pez
candy is
dispenser
ass,
you've ever
though.
had? Did you see that? But you see, is it about the candy?
It's not about the candy.
Or is it about the dispenser?
It's not about
It's
the
about
candy.
the dispenser.
It's like candy cigarettes. It's not about the candy. It's
What's-
about,
What's the
know,
coolest
It's about the
dispenser y'all ever
it's
experience.
had?
about the experience.
It's the experience of allowing it to give you the
Shit.
candy.
Yes.
This man, I love it. What?
That's a right answer because it's his answer. I feel that.
It's not the
That's
destination,
incredible.
it's the journey. That's what he's saying.
Let's talk about it. Okay, next one.
How many of it? What is
Okay.
that?
Mukbang videos.
Just
those videos. Of
Trash.
I'm sorry.
Trash. It's
Trash.
nasty. That's
We're
just
going.
nasty.
We're going in the bin, the trash
That's
bin.
going in the
Oh,
trash can.
we've all agreed so far.
Get that out of here. I don't even
No,
wanna look
get
at
it
that.
out of here.
I don't even want to look at that anymore.
Throw
It's
that in the
insane.
trash.
Okay, next one. CrossFit.
Oh,
CrossFit.
CrossFit.
trash.
I'm actually going to be honest. I'm not really entirely sure what CrossFit is.
What?
It's like doing a bunch of exercises.
You do a bunch.
Well, exercise isn't bad,
I'm
is
gonna
it?
say gas. Even though I don't do CrossFit,
I'd
there's
say
so
it's
many
gas, I
like
guess.
like badass middle aged people that are like look fit as hell, and they're like, I be doing CrossFit
That's true.
all the
No,
time.
It's true. It's
Yes,
always like
you-
a 45, 50-year-old person. It's like, you know what? Like, I started doing CrossFit exercises. and
Yes.
I lost 50 pounds and I'm
Hell
jacked
no.
as shit now.
Why is there a 50-year-old lifting a tractor tire?
That-
I'm done. I'm done
That's
with
what they
it.
do. Though.
I'm done
They're
with it.
fit.
That is what they do.
I'm glad we disagree on something.
Yeah.
Run it.
I
Wait,
can't.
Stu,
Go do
did you
some
say?
muscle ups.
Motherfucker, you can't stop a 50-year-old from lifting a tire.
That's true. That's
You gotta
true.
let those. You gotta
You
let
have
them
to
do.
try- you have
You
to
gotta let them
try.
do what they're gonna do, man.
They put them little belts on too. They get the belts.
Why are
They
we
got
talk-
the belt. Yeah.
We just exclusively said as old people. We were like, no, young people could never do
No, young people never do
CrossFit.
CrossFit.
We went
They
straight for the old folks.
They do, I guess.
We went straight for it. All right. All right. What you
next
got,
one,
Ron?
next one. Pineapple on
Oh,
pizza.
that's gas. That is
Gas.
100% gas.
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 The gassest thing about it is it makes other people mad.
Yeah.
Fair
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
Crazy.
Fair enough.
Yep.
That-
That's
It's
crazy.
exclusive.
It tastes even better without a bitch in your ear telling you it's nasty.
All right. I'll give it to you. Okay.
That was a
okay.
good one, Ron.
We're gonna keep going here. Okay.
What is that?
Taxidermy.
Taxidermy.
I'm gonna say gas, but it has to be done very correctly.
Very good.
Yeah.
But no, have y'all ever seen the bad taxidermy page?
Yeah,
Although
yeah.
that is
Oh,
pretty
that's
gas,
that's
though, but in
pretty
a
great.
totally different
But
way.
no, but
It's
the
like-
weird, it's gas. But the worst thing about it is, have y'all ever? Taxidermists are usually very strange. You have to have a certain kind of.
already-
I would.
They
You
already-
have to
yeah.
have a certain type
the
of
skin of
weird
this living
driving you to
being
want to
and-
like
You
skin
do.
those and restuff
You
them.
do. That was one of my mom's high school jobs.
Oh,
Okay.
Was working in a
Seriously?
taxidermy shop. No joke.
I feel like it's gas, but only from a distance for me. I would not put that in my home.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like he'd be looking at
It
me.
depends. if you hang it in your home, you had to have killed it, right?
Oh yeah.
My dad has quite a few in his home. Let me tell you something funny. Is I used to be terrified of deer heads. When
You see what I'm saying?
I used to have the worst nightmares. Like they'd come floating off the wall
Weird
and scream at me.
eyes.
Yeah, it was terrifying. But like now they don't bother.
I'm
me.
gonna say this. This is kind of like one of them pineapple pizza type deals.
I think so.
I like to see people freak out a little bit when they see some taxidermy.
This man is twisted.
Would you though get a taxidermy of your pet?
No. That's a different type of.
That's trash.
Bad juju.
That's trash.
Okay.
That's bad.
Okay.
Bad vibes.
Okay. Just wanted to check. Okay, I want to see how far off the rails we were.
You got anything else?
Keeping it rolling here. Okay.
Oh no!
Listen.
I'm gonna say trash.
Okay. Hey, listen. What did I say at the start? There's no right or wrong answer.
There's no
it's
right or
your
wrong
answer.
answer.
I'm gonna say trash on the simple basis that she's a politician.
Yeah. That's a great.
I don't give a
that's
shit
great
what
stance.
side
What a
she's
fucking
on.
answer
I don't
from
trust
Stewart.
it.
I like that answer, and I'm gonna steal it.
I think I'm gonna steal
like
it
that
too.
answer. I'm gonna steal
I'm gonna
it.
steal it
I don't like
too.
any politics.
Can't trust none of y'all motherfuckers.
It doesn't matter who you put up.
She
there.
doesn't give a
trust
fuck
y'all.
about me.
If it was Mitch McConnell or
Wow.
Yeah.
Stu with the answer.
So if I was to do this, same.
probably trash as well.
Trash.
I'm going same though. I'm
One
going
That's
same.
trash.
is a
as well.
prosecutor and one has been prosecuted.
That's it. Rod
So y'all just take that for what it is.
Rod
Hey,
going
you
for
know,
the jugular.
Think about it. Okay.
Look at
Okay.
Ron.
One more.
Ron holds too much power. Oh.
Yeah.
Gas.
Okay.
The fact that this could even be a
yes.
question
Yeah.
if considered trash is almost a tragedy in itself.
Here's the
This
question. Here's the question. Where's the best
If
biscuits? and
anyone
gravy?
ever disagrees at this point, we cut the show and it's
That's
done.
true.
That's
Yeah.
that's
It's
how
done.
it goes.
It's
You know?
done.
Yeah. Okay.
Where's
Well,
the
no.
best biscuits and gravy that you guys have had? Real quick.
The biscuits and gravy that my mother used to make when I was little.
That's the
great.
right answer.
Perfect answer.
That's the right answer.
You come to my house, you're gonna get the best biscuits and gravy.
There it
I'm
is.
ready
Is
to try
that
that shit.
is that Colby T made or is that?
Oh, it's Colby T made.
Colby T. May.
Oh, yeah.
I can do. You know, I make homemade deer gravy. I do because I make my own deer sausage.
Colby's, kind of a little bit of chef.
I do.
man.
I can do. I've done it with wild
I was
turkey.
wondering.
I could make any kind of good gravy.
You were just making that. What is it called? The pawpaw stuff.
Oh, I was picking pawpaws and cleaning them when he got home. Pawpaws are a fruit that's native to Virginia.
Absolutely.
They're awesome.
We should have requested him to bring this.
Yeah.
I did not know of this secret talent.
That's incredible. We love when people can cook. Somebody actually brought biscuits
We had
and
a-
gravy
yeah,
one
we
time.
had
Dang.
Didn't
Really?
share any. Didn't
We
share
had a
any.
guest.
He didn't share it?
He did eat on.
That's
he did eat on
trash.
camera. He offered. But
He was
It
just
was
like,
it was the same Tupperware. There was one plastic fork.
yeah, it was a
It was an
situation.
ordeal.
It was a situation.
It was
but,
an ordeal.
I mean, God bless him anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Biscuits and gravy, gas.
Absolutely.
Podcast,
gas,
absolutely.
gas.
Hey, I appreciate y'all for playing and tapping in. I appreciate everyone's opinions. We're gonna keep it rolling here. Eric, Wiz, I'm gonna send it back to y'all. Let's keep it rolling.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Make some crowd noise for Ron.
Wow.
I love that. excellent
What
situation
the hell?
from Ron.
That's too much power back there. He
Get
needs
in
to
there.
stop.
Get in there.
Whole lot of gas.
There was a lot of gas back there.
Yeah.
Everything I've heard so far has been gas. So.
Yeah. The music's gas.
The music is indeed gas.
The music's gas indeed.
I will take.
You need to get you one of these albums right here. And this isn't one of the ones that you pull out and
Yeah,
and
let's
roll
let's
up on.
actually
This
let's
is-
unveil it a little bit. How about that?
Dude, get into it.
Okay, shit.
So this is
Taking the
the
initiative.
the signature move for when I have to sign them. All right, you just take the fingernail
Pop that thing.
All right, that's a season.
See, and your nail's long enough, you can do that.
Yep.
and then you just slide it back, y'all.
This is a professional right here.
Yeah.
This
These could be
Feels
this
like a
this
strip
type of
tease,
this
man.
type. I was gonna say this type of ordeal can be applied to other areas too.
you can take this skill and apply it in other ways.
So as we slide it out here, this is the special edition, limited edition,
Oh, no shit.
blue vinyl, y'all,
Blue, baby.
That is pretty.
Oh my
Oh,
God, does that
man.
look good?
just to match the Blue Ridge Mountains on the album cover.
Woo, that looks
Thank
good.
y'all so
I've
much.
actually not seen those yet, dude. I
Blue is
haven't
the
seen
Blue Ridge Mountains.
Wow.
So y'all go grab a limited edition blue vinyl. We only made 500 of them. I'm pretty sure we only pressed 500, and I don't think we have even half of that left yet. So y'all go get some.
That's amazing.
Go get it.
We've been selling the heck out of them on the road. We've been playing out all over the eastern half of the United States. We ain't made it out to the West Coast yet, but we've been making it all over.
I've been begging you to come out to the West Coast.
Oh, there's so many people wanting us to get out there. It's just we got to make it worth it to get out there. We're starting to build our fan base out there, and hopefully we'll be out there soon. Man. Yeah, for sure.
That's a long way out. That's a long way out.
It's far out.
What do you think, bro?
I'm so excited to see this record, man. I'm gonna bring up what I've been talking about.
Get in there.
I want to bring it up. Yeah, I'm glad you're pushing this.
I want to hear you talk.
Another question from the record. I've been listening to this thing since January. You say some very profound things, and I feel like you are not afraid of the social commentary as well. Smoke and Flames, man. You kind of get on there, you start talking a little bit, you talk about a lot of things, right? It seems like it's almost like a little bit of some past frustrations you're kind of letting out, stuff like that. Talked about the you even mentioned the Baptist church. Your hair was too long for them. And I was like, I loved the metaphor within the whole deal, man. It was cool. So I just wanted to talk on that. How are you able to incorporate that stuff? I just feel like you're not afraid to say what you think.
Well, this is the thing. Some of my favorite songwriters throughout the history of songwriting, the whole point of American folk music, like y'all were talking about before, the thing on my guitar, This Machine Kills Pop Country,
right,
comes from Woody Guthrie. The original point of a folk singer is folk music is about. Usually the point of it is to call out all the injustices going on around you.
Yep.
Right? So like, his Woody Guthrie's guitar said This Machine Kills Fascists. And it's basically like putting down fascism and like putting down the government. And
very relevant at the time.
Yeah, at the time the federal government, even in America, was extremely strong, and people complain about how bad the government is now. But when the government can tell you can't drink alcohol anymore, that's a whole different government than we got today.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, they those guys back then were calling out for the people, and that's what folk music's all about. And so something I think that is a common thread between all folk musicians is we have to speak for some injustices. Now, I try not to be the artist that gets super heavy into politics because I like everybody to be free-willed and think for themselves.
Absolutely.
But what I can do as an artist is speak from my experience so that people don't have to go through the hard way like I have. Yeah. And Smoke and Flames is about a relationship I was in high school, and the whole point of it is looking back at something from retrospect, right? So like I know every single one of us in the room has done this. You ever thought about something, you've done something, then afterwards you sit back and you think about it in retrospect, you think, I could have done this, I could have done this, I could have done this. And then you say, well, if I could have done it, then I would have done it.
Yeah.
So actually I couldn't have done it because I did exactly what I did.
That's it.
And that's about what Smoke and Flames about is, it's just about getting burned up in the end, even though you're going to get burned up. And it's about a relationship I was in. And there's a specific story about me going to play at a church that my girlfriend attended. And I had long hair like I have now. Now, at the time that I wrote these songs, I'd cut my hair off, and I had it slicked back. And I basically wrote that song because I went to play at this church. I dressed up in a tuxedo, go to play, and all these people are just eyeballing me like crazy. Who is this long hair? And at the time, I didn't have no beard at all. So if y'all go back and research that far, I had pretty much a baby face in high school. A lot of people called me a girl. And, I went to this church, and
how you feel.
They were just staring at me like a freak. And then I got up and I played guitar, and I played a traditional hymn. And everybody's faces in the church changed because they realized that they had judged me.
Absolutely.
And that, they were, I don't know what they were expecting me to get up there and sing fucking a Woodstock song. I don't know. That's the way they were looking at me like, though.
Right.
And I got up there and sang a really nice hymn and everything, and respectful, and they just didn't know what to think because they had judged the hell out of me. Right. And so that there's a lot of that type of stuff in rural communities. And that's something I was trying to bring out. Is like, this is a part of Virginia culture, man. It's like you have all these different types of people moving into Virginia, and all these old people don't know what to do about it. And then I have other songs, like Mountain Brandy, where I talk about the Yanks moving in. Right. So I'm seeing it as well. Yep. But the thing is, we have to have an open heart and be good neighbors and be good people, because that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Right.
And, at the end of the day, you got to be the good example. how are you supposed to represent this area if you're going to judge other people? You know,
That's
right?
exactly
It's like
right.
you can't claim to be a have Southern hospitality if you're going to judge people,
Wow.
treat them bad,
That's what I'm saying.
and have prejudice. And so that's
There you go.
Very cool.
That's kind of like that's some of the topics I'm trying to tackle on this album. And
It was
the whole
amazing.
point of my album, like I was telling y'all before, is taking bluegrass and making it more serious and take the stigma of the silly hillbilly shit off of it and think about like, whoa, this is actually like a really like cultured music and it's got a lot to offer. And so when people text me from Australia, people text me from Europe, people text me from California and say, hey, look, your album helped me like rethink my life a little bit. I've had people move back to the mountains because of higher ground.
Wow.
And
that's like an ultimate purpose, man. I mean, that's like when you stop and think sometimes, and you're like, man, what am I doing this for? Like that is one of those answers.
Yeah.
Like you've experienced
exactly. It's like when I was in high school and I wanted to do this, like I was telling y'all, it was my secret dream to release my own music. It just wasn't cool at the time. It hadn't blown up. Tyler Childers and Billy Strings, the two main guys I'd say that have influenced people that wouldn't normally listen to this type of music, pulling them in. Those guys had not really took it off yet when I was in high school, and so everything that I was doing was just seeming completely uncool. Whereas now, I'd say if somebody was 14, 15 years old in 2024 doing what I was doing back then, they'd get a lot more gravity than I did when I was in high school. And so the whole reason I wanted to create my music is to inspire young people and to inspire people to, hey, be yourself. Doesn't matter where you come from. Doesn't matter if you come from like a suburb in the middle of the Midwest somewhere. It doesn't matter if you come from the biggest city, New York City. It doesn't matter if you come from the most bumfuck place on earth. Like, it's like you all have purpose and you need to find that purpose and pursue it. Yeah. And that's what this album's about is making something out of bad and forming it into something good.
Wow. What an answer to that. What an answer to that.
Can't ask for better.
Incredible, bro. I love that you tackle tough stuff too. You talk about, like you said, some real stuff. It's not just And we were talking about it on the way over. He had brought up the whole pop country thing, and it's just like it seems a lot of stuff. The formula is very generic.
Yeah.
It felt very real and authentic coming from you on the record. So I think that's why we like it. I think that's why everybody else is liking it. So yeah, man. No, kudos to you, man. That is a great record.
Thanks so much.
You definitely spoke your truth, and we're seeing it. We're seeing it, man.
Seeing the truth.
It worked. It worked. So
yeah,
man. I remember spending time with you in high school, and how frustrated you and I both were with the world and with all the people in high school. Yes, and I remember thinking, man, will anything come of this? Are we gonna just grow out of this and be like, man, we were being ridiculous, or are we gonna get to a point where we make something of this and look back and be like, you know what, we
did something.
Yeah, with what was happening to us at the time. And
well, that's what I say about
it's cool to be sitting here now and seeing where this has brought you, man.
There's something to be said about somebody. There's a lot of people in history that have that in their time were not recognized, and then after they were gone, people recognized them more. Those are the type of people you need to look to. The people like that are the people you need. People that dedicate their whole life to a craft, whatever that craft is. It could be anything, but the people that have they stick out in history, those are the people that dedicated everything in their life to what they were doing. And like music is one of those things that if you don't full-heartedly love it and you don't full-heartedly want to do it, then you don't need to be doing it. It's just like this studio. I'm so appreciative of y'all having us here because you can tell that y'all really love it. And if y'all half-assed and kind of wanted to do it, then how can you expect people to like it and really dig it? But if you're full balls to the wall into it, then people are thinking, well, dang, if he thinks that much about it, then
dedication is obvious.
Yeah, that makes
Absolutely.
people want to do that. Inspires other people to do it.
Oh yeah.
And so that's something I try to incorporate into my life a bunch, especially in my music, is just going balls to the wall, do it to your fullest, do it to your best. And one of my sayings my dad used to say is, if you're not going to do it your best, then you might as well just not do it at all.
Might as well not do it at all.
That's the truth.
If you ain't first, you're last.
I didn't even say that, Ricky Bobby. I don't even know what you're talking about. You can be second, third, fourth. Hell, you can even be fifth. Oh my goodness. No, that's true though. We've talked about that a lot on here. Just if you're gonna do something, do it with your whole self.
Exactly.
Put your whole self into it. But I wanted to ask you because people kind of, people like to lump people into boxes and associate people. And you mentioned Tyler Childers and Billy Strings as being guys that kind of brought the genre out. But who are some people like that people wouldn't know that influenced you? Some other, maybe some weird places that you've kind of found musical influence.
So, I listen to a lot of old music, and I was saying earlier, like the greatest thing about having the internet is being able to find stuff that people couldn't find before.
Yeah.
And, I'm big into digging into old music. So, most of the artists that I love are dead now. And that's super sad, but the good thing about it is you can bring some of their influence back into your music and help people discover them.
Yeah.
And then, people when I was younger, people like Billy Hurt, the guy that produced this album, he was playing, super old, obscure music when I was a kid and did balls to the wall full on. And a lot of times people would come up and ask him if he wrote that song. Be like, no, this song's 80 years old.
Yeah.
And good music is good music, just like good art's good art. And a good building's a good building, If it's built sturdy, then it's built sturdy. And that's the way I think about it. There's all these guys that created genres of music like Bill Monroe and the Bluegrass Boys. They created basically bluegrass is what it is today. There's people like Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys that started Western swing. There's people like Chuck Berry that got rock and roll going. And, people like B.B. King that started the started the blues craze. All these people that I just mentioned were wholeheartedly doing what they love to the fullest extent of their ability. And that's something that I strive with me and my band to do. And everybody in my band, they're all come from different backgrounds of bluegrass, and they all love the things that they love to the fullest extent.
Yeah.
And that's why I want them playing with me, because they care about it as much as I do.
Hell yeah. And they like making Colby music.
That's right.
That's it. Mm-hmm. I think that's awesome. Just bringing people in from different backgrounds and kind of putting it all together, making something new.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're all little, it's like making a pot of soup. You got to have different ingredients to make that pot of soup.
Yeah.
And with missing some of them ingredients, that soup just ain't going to be the same.
It just don't taste quite as good.
Otherwise, it's just broth.
That's how good bluegrass music is, though. I mean, you got to have that mandolin, you got to have that banjo.
Exactly. You got to have the fiddle.
It's kind of like the DNA of the music, man. I mean, the thing about it is that bluegrass is one of those genres of music that is very obviously lacking the drums.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people
don't understand that.
A lot of people don't understand that, and it kind of freaks them out a little bit. I've had people come up to us before and be like, man, the thing you guys need is drums. And it's like, no, you don't understand.
No.
That each of these instruments plays a specific role that fills in the sound that we want and fills in the role that the drums would take. So the bass plays on the on beat and provides a nice rhythm, and the mandolin chops on the off beat and provides that snare type sound.
So you get the boom chuck boom chuck boom chuck boom
so
chuck.
you still have a rhythm section there. It's just the roles that the drum would normally take up have been spread out to other other instruments, and I think it's really important to preserve that and not, like, it's fine for some bands to have drums with that kind of thing. It's their prerogative, but I think it's important to show people that there are lots of bands out there that are formatted the way that our group is formatted, and they still manage to get really hard driving music that sounds full.
Yeah, you don't feel like anything's missing.
Right.
Yes.
I think especially, with bluegrass, there's a live aspect to it. Like,
yes, definitely, man.
A lot of the percussion comes from the crowd, like stamping feet and clapping hands. Like, you don't really need a drum there, because people are clapping, people are in the music, like, because it's music that, like, gets you engaged, that makes you want to move.
Yeah.
And that's the best kind of music, is music that you want to dance to.
Exactly.
Get up and move to.
That's where, bluegrass originates from old-time country music, and old-time country music is basically bluegrass without the mandolin chopping, without the driving banjo. There's different types of banjo playing. The old-style claw hammer and plucking style predates bluegrass banjo, which is the roll. And
of course, plectrum banjo.
Yeah, which was in jazz and stuff.
Right.
But basically, this old time music was made for people to dance to.
Yeah.
So people would have dances, and the old time bands would come in and they would play these fiddle tunes that last for 5-6 minutes a lot of times because the people were listening to it to dance to at that time. And
They
it's
serve a
ironic.
different purpose.
It's ironic because hip hop music,
It's
the dance too.
It's the same thing.
The thing that I think resonates with most people across the board, and on almost every culture. Obviously, I can't speak for any other culture than my own, but I think the rhythm seems to really speak to a lot of people.
Absolutely.
People like to move to the music.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
it's
a documented thing that even small children, like toddlers and everything,
Absolutely.
move
They
to the
can feel
music. They feel that. It's something innate to us.
What'd
as
you
humans.
say, Past? The vibrations.
The vibrations.
That's what you
It's
said.
all
Yeah.
music
The
is
vibrations.
an exchange of energy.
That's why I'm going to go ahead and shout out 5 Points Music Sanctuary. They're one of our main supporters in Roanoke, Virginia.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
And the cool thing they do is they're starting to become nationally recognized. The guy who runs it, Tyler Godsey, he's almost fully deaf, and his children have a lot of hearing problems and stuff. So he created this thing where you put on these vests and these packs.
Yeah.
Then you can go watch the concerts and they vibrate with the bass.
No.
That's cool.
What?
Yes.
That's cool.
How do
Yeah.
we not know about this?
It's the coolest fucking thing ever. And they're starting to get national
That's
recognition of it.
Yeah.
And so
Very cool.
that's one of the unique places Roanoke has to offer.
Wow.
And so anybody that that has hearing issues, I recommend going to 5 Points. Let them know that you have hearing disabilities. They'll hook you up with one of those vests.
Wow.
And
That's cool, man.
oh, it's the coolest thing
That's
ever.
really
The vests
cool.
just vibrate
Yeah.
with the music, and
That's
everybody has a
insane.
good time. And that's awesome. He's doing something that I can't do. That's getting music to people that otherwise wouldn't be able to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And that's as good as it gets right there. So I have to shout them out. We're playing there this December, so y'all in the Roanoke area come check that out. Can't say too many details about
We
it,
will be there.
That'll be on the calendar.
but y'all just check out December 5 Point schedule and come catch us.
Absolutely. That's just really because we always talk. We talk about it a lot. The kind of vibrations of music and just how it's just a way of changing your whole.
Absolutely.
It has a power over you that you just it's beyond words.
Almost it controls your mood almost
Yeah.
instantly.
And that's just so cool that you can pass those vibrations on to somebody that
Yeah, for sure.
they can feel it in a different way. That's good stuff. Shout out
That's-
5 Points.
It's kind of like
Yeah,
the
that's
first time that I
incredible.
ever fucking sat in a car that had subs in it.
Yep.
Oh shit.
You ever had subs in your cars?
Never had the subs. I never had the subs, but the bass was outrageous.
Man, Dad hooked me up with two 12-inch subs to put in the
Your dad?
we went to Cash Converters. You
What
remember
the
that?
hell?
We went to Cash Converters, and my cousin Chris, shout him out, one of the hardest working people that I know in this world, was living with us, and he helped me put the stereo in,
No shit.
and we hooked that son of a bitch up. You know the first song that I played on when I got the stereo hooked up?
Oh, wow, no.
The first, because I didn't have the auxiliary hooked up, so it was radio was playing, and "Party Like It's 1999" by Prince came on the fucking radio. First song that ever played over my subwoofers.
That is amazing.
And it was bumping too.
I believe it. That is
Oh,
crazy.
Because the cabin of that thing was huge. The Ram Charger.
Are you talking about the Dodge?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I had the bump in the trunk.
Little badass
I had
truck.
the bump in the trunk. You
Hell
can hear me
yeah.
coming from a mile away. Yeah, those are still in there, man. I need to hook this back up. Yeah, no, but it's it.
I love that shit.
Sorry, I'm going down memory lane.
Nostalgia hit.
I'm going down
That's
memory
fucking
lane.
cool, man. That's a cool experience right there.
Yeah, it just struck me. That memory struck me. You got any questions? What you got?
I mean, they hit all my boards, man. I mean,
Yeah,
these guys are top notch.
These guys
over
hit my
here.
talking points, man. I can't even. I did want to ask you. We kind of ask everybody, and you've done a lot of little touring recently.
Yeah.
What are some of the coolest places you've played?
So the coolest, we just played up in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, up in the Porcupine Mountains. It was Porcupine Mountain Music Festival right on the edge of Lake Superior.
Yeah.
I didn't know there were mountains up there.
Yeah, they got hills.
Shit, I didn't either.
And man, that was beautiful up there.
Yeah.
I got to play in London in January for Americana Fest UK, and that was pretty awesome. I played a song I wrote about my overalls, and I called it the Blue Jean Blues, but there's a couple other songs called Blue Jean Blues, and so I was like, I wonder, if I could come up with a new name for it, and Played it for all the English people out there, and all these people came crowding in.
I think I know where you're going with this.
And they came up to me after the set, and they were like, I love this song about the dungarees.
The dungarees.
Hey, that's cool.
The dungarees.
That's what you got to call it.
Yeah,
He's
so
got a great tune here, lads.
about the dungarees.
About the dungarees.
Yes. And then so that was pretty freaking cool, and I loved England. That was super fun. Then we went down to Florida. I went down to Florida about a month after that. Played at Swanee Springs Reunion.
Yeah, that was cool.
And that was one of the coolest places I've ever played. It's like in the northern part of Florida, almost on the Florida-Georgia line up there. And it's like they have like a bat conservatory. They have like a wildlife conservatory with there's birds flying through there. They got a lake there, and then they got the Swanee River that runs right through it.
Yeah.
And dude, that is such a beautiful place. Now, going there in July might not be fun.
Yeah,
but going there in March,
yeah,
Good time.
that's good stuff.
tops.
Man, I was pretty impressed when we went to Des Moines to play. Man, like, it's not really a town that many people talk about, but it was it seemed very clean and like it seemed like an interesting town. Had interesting
Iowa in
people.
general was all right. We went to you missed that part of the tour, but we went on another Midwest tour. And we went to Davenport, Iowa, which they call the QC, the Quad Cities.
Quad Cities.
And Mississippi River rolls right through there. That was pretty cool. That was a pretty cool time there
Yeah,
too.
I missed that.
So there's so many cool places out there that you don't know about unless you get out there and just experience it.
That's it.
I know the worst place that we played was that place in South Carolina.
Yeah, but we're not going to.
We don't need to delve into that, but my God, that was about. We didn't know if we were going to survive that one.
No, we have a good time wherever we go, even if we're in danger.
Yeah.
Played any of those bars where they get the chicken wire up so they can't throw the beer bottles at you?
Yeah.
We've that's like reminds me of a bowl. One time we went in this bowling alley and bowling. I'm not even gonna say where it is, but this bowling alley had a bar in the back of it, and it had a stripper pole with a cage on it.
Hell yeah!
At the bowling alley.
Hell yeah,
dude, that's awesome.
Nothing would make me want to bowl a 300 more.
I'm with it.
Than a mother of three. Just
yeah.
I'd kill some beers at that bowling alley.
That's quite
they
specific.
made some money, I'm sure.
They take it from me. They take it from me.
You never know what you're gonna find in Southern Virginia, guys.
That is damn true. That's damn true. And it's one of the best places in the world.
Yes, sir. I agree. It totally. Everybody when I went to high school with, everybody talked about moving away. And I always told people, there's a reason that people keep moving here and building houses. There's a reason, And then 5 years later, they're all, oh, well, we went out to Colorado. We went out to California. We went out to whatever. And it's too expensive to live out there. We like it back here now. And it's like,
Huh, that's funny.
That's funny.
That.
That's funny.
But I tell you what, y'all, I appreciate y'all freaking having us. It's been
This has been awesome, man.
Dude,
I've
absolutely.
thoroughly enjoyed this.
We appreciate you coming out.
guys.
We appreciate you coming
Been a
out
pleasure.
daily, man. And I know it's a little bit of a drive out here from Franklin County, but we've very thoroughly enjoyed seeing you play and talking to you guys. It's been incredible to pick your minds, really. And I think people will enjoy kind of getting a different perspective on things. Brian, you got any closing words? Any final questions? I think I got one more question I want to wrap up with.
I have no questions, so I'll let you do yours.
We did want to ask, you've been a lot of places. What are the women like on tour?
Oh,
Are they respectful?
Whoa, shit.
Or what and don't say anything to incriminate yourself, but just give us a taste of what, kind of what it's been like.
Well,
You should tell them the story about Florida, man.
Well, there's all kinds of the crazy people out there, men and women.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And I will say this: I've had people try to sell me watches on tour. You missed that.
Oh yeah.
I've had people steal my money, asking for gas money.
No.
I've had people try to steal my hat before. I've had all kinds of stuff happen to me. And let me say this: it's like Larry Sparks said, stay at home with your loving wife.
That's it.
Because they're crazy out there, and you better be on watch.
Multiple times we have been out somewhere, and sometimes it's more than one, but sometimes it's just one. It'll be some woman that comes along and manages to drape herself over all of us at some point over the night, and And
you got to figure out how to make your escape plan.
Yeah,
That's
right,
it.
right.
That's
You
it.
have to.
Well, we got to take the van because we got to take the van over to get a tire. It's a tire thing, so you can't come with us because it's like
The van.
If we got to drop it off, and then you got to chill here.
Yeah,
It's really a an imposition.
We don't have that many seats in the van.
Well, you
know what I
see-
mean?
yeah.
it already kind of stank in there.
It's got a little bit of you'd be way better off here.
So just sit tight. I'm gonna take.
But
a piss.
I will say I appreciate all my fans, and don't let that discourage you from coming out seeing a Colby T Helms and the Virginia Creepers show, because we play
Yes.
music for everybody.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
because Bluegrass is for everybody.
It's for everybody. It's not just for some people. It's for everybody.
It's
And if you don't believe me, look up Colby T Helms on any streaming platform. Give my stuff a listen.
Yep.
Let me know what you think.
Boom.
Yep.
What a damn premiere. Go ahead and wrap this bitch up. This is perfect.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been my absolute pleasure to bring you some new sounds down to Klean Studios. We took a little bit of a break, but we're so glad to have you back. We're so glad to be back.
Absolutely.
Just, my message has always been the same. Go out and find some good music and go see it live and go feel it and go move around and go dance, and listen to music from around here, because this is the spot. Like Colby's saying, you got to put this in the syringe and inject it. Shoot this shit up if you have to,
Hey, the Roanoke music scene is growing, actually.
It is.
It's growing. It used to be really big back in the day, and then it fizzled out.
It fizzled out
But
because
post-COVID, it's starting to grow. So y'all come down to Roanoke, Virginia, see some amazing acts, and try to convince them to come out to your town.
That's it. We got good music. What were you going to say?
Oh, I was just gonna say that from what I've heard, this was a little bit before my time, but from what I've heard, the police presence was heavily increased in the 90s in Roanoke, and that kind of killed the music scene.
Killed the music scene, as it always does. And we'll leave you on that note, guys.
We'll let you.
The audience agrees.
Because the underground music scene is always been a rebel enterprise. So keep that in mind, police officers.
We're not admitting to any.
No, we're not admitting
illicit
to any
crimes
wrongdoing.
here.
Biscuits and Gravy does not encourage any crimes. We just turn a cold shoulder sometimes.
We just
come up with
they
every
just
disclaimer we
encourage
can
good
real
music.
quick, and
But
there you go.
go listen to good music. There's so much good music here in the Roanoke Valley, and the broader areas outside of the Roanoke Valley, Franklin County, Floyd, all the way up into Rockbridge.
Yeah, for sure.
There's so much good music going on. So go to a
Without a
bar,
doubt.
become a regular. One of the best things. Seriously, go to a bar and let people learn your name.
That's right.
You'll feel good, and go
Make
see some
friends,
live
man.
music and plug in, because it's happening right now. It's passing you by.
There it goes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll close with the same thing that I always close with.
Tradition.
Find somebody you love, tell them that you love them, and for God's sakes, don't be a fucking prick. And we're out.
We're out. That's
Hell
it.
yeah.
Gone.
Season 3.
Don't go anywhere. We've got one more song for you. And I don't know how you're listening to us or watching us, but I recommend that you turn this up and play it loud. If you're watching on your phone, set it down somewhere so you can do a little bit of dancing, because this one's going to be fast. This is Unreleased Heat. I told you, I always bring you the best unreleased music in the area. I always deliver. And for Season 3, I'm delivering another unreleased gem. This is Bad Memory. Enjoy.
Woke up this morning, I was feeling no pain. I grabbed my hat and hopped that old freight train. I tell you, honey, well, I ain't the one to blame. It was them city cats, they are so strange. I I want some beer, but all I got is cheap shine. I'd sit and drink it with you if I had that sweet time. I tell you, honey, I'm the rambling kind. I've gotta keep moving on. My mind is getting hazy. I'm waltzing towards your door. They all call me crazy, but I'm coming back for more. So I'm sorry, darling, I got such bad memory. I recall the way you move, but not your name. You see, I guess I spit my game when I remember your name. For now, we need to lay off that liquor and cocaine. Starts complaining every time that it starts raining. I've been up for 3 damn days and I don't care what she's saying. All the boys around here, they just claim she's just playing. I might get a Bible and do a little praying on it. I'm feeling tipsy, I'm falling towards your door. They all call me crazy, but I'm coming back for more. So I'm sorry, darling, I got such bad memory. I recall the way you move, but not your name. You see, I guess I spit my game when I remember your name. For now, we need to lay off that liquor and cocaine. Get my shades, the sun's burning up my eyes. She looked me in the face and told me such sweet lies. They say a woman might could turn a man around, but liquor and ladies gonna lay me in the ground. I'm feeling tipsy, I'm falling towards your door. They all call me crazy, but I'm coming back for more. So I'm sorry, darling, I got such bad memory. I recall the way you move, but not your name. You see, I guess I spit my game when I remember your name. But now we need to lay off that liquor and cocaine. That liquor and cocaine.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen to Colby T Helms. Lay off that liquor and the cocaine. Put it down. Have some fun, or don't. Don't listen to me. Just quickly before we end it here, I wanted to give a shout out to my dad. He's the one that got me into bluegrass music in the first place. Took me down to Happy's Flea Market to listen to the old timers pick down there. So huge shout out to him. Huge shout out to bluegrass in general. It really is the music of this area. So huge thanks to Colby. Huge thanks to Stu. This has been the first episode of season 3, Biscuits and Gravy. We got 15 more for you this season. So lock in. It's going to be great.
This is a Klean production.